Fellow countrymen and women, I'm here once again to address you in the course of our nation's history. I am terribly worried as we face insecurity challenges in this country, a more alarming danger of economic crisis that is looming is ahead of us. I want to announce to Nigerians, because I know we have a government that is not sincere, that is not honest, that will not tell Nigerians the truth. So I owe it as an obligation to tell Nigerians the bitter truth. I stumbled on a letter written by the NNPC, specifically signed by the Chief Financial Officer of NNPC, Umar Ajia Isa. He wrote the Accountant General of the Federation, intimating the Accountant General of the Federation that there will be zero contribution from NNPC to the national purse in the month of May, in the month of June, and in the month of July, meaning zero allocation from NNPC. The implication is that the revenue in these 3 months will only come from the Nigerian Customs and FIRS. And we all know that bulk of the revenue normally comes from NNPC. But now he has written the Accountant General of the Federation to announce to him officially that NNPC will not be able to contribute to FAC in the month of May, in the month of June, in the month of July, because the landing costs of PMS in the month of February, month of March, is 184 naira as against the 124 naira. So because of this, NNPC is not in a position to contribute to the revenue that will be shared among the 3 tiers of government: the federal government, the state, and the local government in the month of May, in the month of June, in the month of July. The implication is that states will not be able to survive, states will not be able to pay salaries, and this is a major catastrophe. And all this is happening because of ineptitude in leadership. It's happening because we have no leadership and the president is absent. And this is the time for Nigerians to know so that we can act. We are in precarious situation. We are in a very perilous times, and leadership is absent. God Almighty is the only one we can run to. In an unjust society, silence is a crime. I remain Dino Melaye.
I'm glad, because you just talked about NSAS. Let me take my next question from there. That NSAS event seems to have opened the eyes of Nigerians that, look, the Nigerian youth really can, step to the plate when it comes to demonstrating leadership and ability to organize instead of agonizing. What do you think about the Nigerian youth and governance in Nigeria? Do you think they really have come of age to the point that they should be handed over the
truth of the matter
reins
is
of power?
When you push people to the wall, they will react. Nobody knew what happened in Tunisia. Could happen at that square. Nobody knew what happened in Egypt. Could happen. Even the NSAS in Nigeria, nobody thought it could happen. And the situation is not getting better, it's getting worse. So definitely government should expect that something bigger than what happened with NSAS is coming. And when it starts, no one can stop it. So I expect this government to be sensitive and become born again. And then recall and change. They still have the opportunity to, because they have over 2 years.
Are you talking about more change? This government promised change. What kind of change are you talking about?
They promised change, but they did not define whether it's positive or negative change. I am talking of positive change. What we have seen is negative change. Because when this government came into power, dollar was about 200. Today it's 400 and something. When this government came into power, I was flying economy to Lagos for 23,000, business class for 40,000. I just came back from Lagos. I paid 120,000 to go to Lagos. What I normally pay to go to London on economy. So there is no sector of our national life today that is working.
So how can it work? How do we make it work in a way that Nigerians will believe in Nigeria again? So they don't start asking for, let me land, they don't start asking for Oodua Republic, they're not asking for Biafra and all of those. How do we put an end to all of this?
The way to put an end to this is for the president to excuse us.
In what way? What do you mean?
The president needs to leave.
How?
The president have no capacity, medical, physical, mental, intellectual, to carry us out of the woods. He has exhibited gross incompetence, and his performance in every facet of our national life is F9 parallel. And you cannot continue to reinforce failure and expect a positive concomitant effect.
But a lot of people would say, look, it is the structure of the country. It is not necessarily about who is there. That
the structure can be affected if you have the right leadership. Even a structure that is not working can work. We have seen it happen in Rwanda. We've seen it happen with Tunisia just lost their president. Tanzania. We have seen this revolution happen where leadership has affected structure, have affected system, and things started working. Revolution took place. Once you have the man who knows what time it is in the world today, a man that can compete with the technological and scientific demands of recent times. Is it a leader that when you put a gun on his head, he cannot give you his email address? That you think in the 21st century will make a mark? A man that has not successfully done any business in his life, that is known and open? A man who has not turned 1 naira to 500 naira before in his life? You want him to come and operate a country as complex with heterogeneous nature like Nigeria? We need a man that knows what time it is. We need a man that is indoctrinated and imbibed with not only the rudiment of administration, but with economic sense.
So does Nigeria have that man who you say would know what the time is?
We have
that man that can take Nigeria to
we have a lot of them. And that is why I am advising my party. Who you present as your presidential candidates matter. Because now Nigerians are not the same as those in 2019. The NSAS have completely opened the eyes of many. If you bring a mediocre, if you bring one who will just come and maintain status quo, if you bring one that is not seen as capable of turning things around, they will start stoning us during campaigns. We need one this time that will obviously make a difference.
I'll repeat my question. Are you that man, possibly?
I'm more than competent and capable because I am more intellectually mobile than Buhari. I am more educated than Buhari. I am even more traveled, I can say.